Do you want to know how to have more power in your life? Over events and over people. What's going on YouTube? This is Nicky Fashionshow TV, the place where you can learn various aspects of personal development at a convenient location. In this series, I will be covering Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power for you. So, let's get into it. First of all, what is power? We hear people talk about others as having power and influence, but what is it? No, I'm not talking about superpowers or shooting freaking laser beams out of your eyes, man. No, power is the ability to directly influence the behavior of others or over a specific course of events. By applying the 48 Laws of Power, you will be able to exercise your will over others by using deception to influence their behavior and by using a strategic sort of patience to protect yourself from your emotions and or your natural aggressive tendencies. We don't want you to get all crazy, smashing people directly, and being a complete a-hole. So, let's start with the introduction of the book, which has a lot of great information, and I don't think anyone else on YouTube has actually covered the intro. In the 48 Laws of Power intro, Robert Greene lays the groundwork for some of the things he covers in the actual text itself. He states, "We all want more power. Not having power makes us feel miserable, but the problem is that in today's society, we cannot be seen as power hungry, nor can we act too forcefully in our attainment of power of others or over events. Throughout history, societies have always formed themselves around a person of power, a king, a queen, an emperor, or a leader. The courtiers, people who attended the royal courts and interacted with the king or queen, had to act with subtlety. They had to outwit others in the most indirect ways by using deception, seduction, and strategy. Today, we face a similar dilemma. We must act out our aggressive desires, but if we do so in a way that is obviously violent or forceful, we will be ostracized or cut off. We all know that guy nobody wants to be around because he's an a-hole. As the late Charlie Murphy so eloquently put it, the habitual line steppers. We also cannot be good all the time. As Niccolo Machiavelli states, any man who tries to be good all the time is bound to come to ruin among the great number who are not good. Thus, the game is the same. Outwardly, you must seem to respect the niceties, but inwardly, you must place your iron hand inside a velvet glove and master the arts of indirection, seduction, charm, deception, and strategy. You must make people bend to your will without their realizing it. In this fashion, they will neither be able to resent you or seek revenge. And revenge, my friend, sucks donkey D when it happens to you. Everyone plays this game, and those who claim to opt out of the game by behaving in ways that have nothing to do with power are often the most adept players. Watch out for them. If the world is like a giant scheming court, which it kinda is, there's no use in trying to opt out of the game. That will only make you powerless, and powerlessness will make you miserable. Learning this game requires a certain way of looking at the world, a shifting of perspective. It will take effort, for much of it may not come naturally. And that's what she said. Just kidding. So, you need to master certain skills. The most important of these skills is the ability to master your emotions. An emotional response to a situation is the single greatest barrier to power. Emotions cloud reason. You can't trust your emotions. Instead of showing your anger, keep your enemy off guard and pretend to be friendly. You know, just like your ex-girlfriend used to do. Speaking of your ex, love and affection are also potentially destructive in that they blind you to the self-serving interests of others. Since it's almost freaking impossible to repress love or anger, you need to be careful in how you express them, and they should never influence your plans in any way. You must also forget situations in the past that eat away at you and cloud your reason. Learn from your mistakes and vow to never repeat them. When using deception, you must take a distance approach to yourself, being like clay and shaping yourself to whatever the moment requires. And this way, you lose a lot of the heaviness that holds people down. Playing with your appearance is a crucial component in the acquisition of power. Think about it. Your crush plays with their appearance all the time, wearing just the right thing that makes you, oh, so thirsty. You must do the same. Nothing about power is natural, so stop thinking that you can improv your way into a key position. It ain't gonna happen. Also, you gotta judge people not by their words, but by the effects of their actions. People will cover up their bad behavior with all kinds of excuses. Oh man, me and your crush, man, we were just wrestling and we ended up in the bed naked. Or, I was drunk, man, you know I'm not like that. Or my personal favorite, one thing just led to another. It's all BS, Wayne. What does it matter if another player, your friend or rival, intended good but caused so much freaking chaos, man? People, It is a game. Your opponent sits opposite of you. Both of you behave like gentlemen and ladies, and you, the individual who's going to be so gamed up from watching this channel, takes nothing personally. Train your eye to follow the results of their moves, and do not be distracted by anything else. Judge all things by what they cost you. Never waste valuable time. Never let anything upset your mental peace of mind. Power is a social game. To learn and master it, you must develop the ability to study and understand people. You must also learn the rules. If you're still watching, I applaud you. You just might have what it takes to open up a can all over your opponent's freaking head. Continuing on, an understanding of people's hidden motives is the single greatest piece of knowledge you can have in acquiring power. Never discriminate as to whom you study and whom you trust. Never trust anyone completely, and study everyone. Yes, that includes your dear old grandma, or any other loved one for that matter. Finally, you must always take the indirect route to power. Disguise your cunning. In this way, you can thrive in the modern court, appearing to be the epitome of decency, while underneath you are a shrewd manipulator. The 48 laws of power have a simple premise. Certain actions almost always increase one's power, while other actions decrease our power. Once you master the 48 laws, you'll be able to turn your power up or down, depending on the situation. So you know what? It kinda is like a superpower. Hey! Although several of these laws may not seem to directly pertain to your life, in time you will find that most, if not all of them, have some application, and that in fact they are interrelated. By knowing the 48 laws of power, you will gain a greater degree of control over your immediate affairs. Power is endlessly seductive. So, to finish up this video, I'll leave you with the quote by Machiavelli. Any man who tries to be good all the time is bound to come to ruin among the great number who are not good. Hence, a prince who wants to keep his authority must learn how not to be good and use that knowledge, or refrain from using it as necessity requires. So that's all I got for you in this video. I will keep you updated, and of course, arrivederci.